Hello everyone, I'm Sean.
This is who?
And we are the Courageour Frights, back once again for another movie review.
Yes.
So this time we put on our Longlegs.
Yeah.
So, yes, this is the latest horror film with Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
And Maika Monroe, who she was the lead in It Follows, I believe.
Yeah, because she looked familiar, and I was like, that she looks familiar.
Yeah, she's done It Follows. She did a few other ones. She's done, like, I don't know, probably quite a few horror films, actually. But that was her first big one, I think. And that was about 10 years ago. And Nicolas Cage, obviously, I don't think he needs any introduction. Everybody knows who Nicolas Cage is. Mm-hmm. And then directed by Osgood Perkins, who is actually the real-life son of Anthony Perkins, who was the Norman Bates in the original Psycho.
Yes.
So it's kind of a long-standing horror lineage there. And I think this is his fifth film maybe. So he's been, working quite a bit in the horror field as well.
Yeah, because he did a lot on... I just looked at his little filmography.
Yeah.
Like Psycho 2, film roles, I guess just acting roles.
Well, he played like young Norman Bates in that,
yeah.
I think.
Played like Hitchcock and stuff, which I'm sure that's because of the Psycho connection.
It's his dad's connections.
He did Gretel and Hansel, apparently.
Yes, yeah, I think that was his more recent one. His most recent one?
Yeah, that was 2020.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's done quite a few horror stuff.
Oh, this is another one. The Monkey was another one. I think I remember seeing this.
Oh, yeah.
He's the director or something, or he's a director and writer of The Monkey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's always working on stuff that's... Actually, all these guys are like horror regulars, pretty much. And there's not much other... There's like one other prominent actor in this film. He plays like her partner, detective, whatever. Agent Carter, I think was the guy's name. So, was the character's name?
Yeah.
But other than that, there's not a lot of characters in this film.
No, it's pretty, it's pretty, like, it's more like it's almost like a cop drama type of thing, so.
Yeah, it is. It's primarily... It's sort of split into what it wants to be. It's primarily like a procedural crime drama, FBI type thing, thriller with a serial killer, and then there's kind of this sort of supernatural twist to it.
Yeah.
But we won't get too much into that because they're non-spoilers.
Those are like, so you get some major spoilers to that.
Yeah, but there is, just so you know, going into this, there is a supernatural angle. So if that's like a make or break thing for people, then, if you don't want to see anything supernatural, first off, you're on the wrong channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But second off, then, just know that this does get into supernatural stuff. And it's very explicitly supernatural. It's not like, oh, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Like,
Yeah, they explicitly say it. Or at least... I don't know explicitly, but you kind of like figure it out. It's like, there's something like that.
Right, yeah. My point is basically they do say that the supernatural thing is really happening. Yeah. It's not one of those movies that's like, oh, maybe it is, or maybe it's just in their minds or something. It's like, no, this pretty clearly states that there's a supernatural element to it. And the acting in this is really good. It's probably... It could go either way with Nicolas Cage's performance. He's either going to come off as incredibly unnerving to you, unsettling, or he's going to come off as hilarious. It just depends. Because this is full-blown Nick Cage.
Yeah, he's very eccentric in this, I guess.
Yes, this is... You get two kinds of Nick Cage. You either get a really subdued Nick Cage, which... we got in Arcadian, which we're also going to review later today. That's much more of a subdued Nicolas Cage, where he just plays like a regular, everyday family man type thing. And then there's crazy, like, batshit mad Nick Cage. Which
this one is.
Longlegs is definitely that. His character in Longlegs is like, I don't know, he's like a serial killer version of like Mrs. Doubtfire or something. It's like...
He has like a weird high-pitched voice that he has, and it's kind of like...
It's very off-putting.
Like when he says, just put your long legs on. It's like the very first thing. He's like, put your long legs.
He says that at the beginning. He's like, he's standing there, the camera is doing this weird aspect ratio where it's like using up like maybe 2/3 of the screen.
It's like letterboxed really badly.
Yeah, it's like a 1970s format, but I can't remember what it's called right now. And he's standing there, and he's like, his head's cut off by the camera.
Yeah.
So you can't see his face, and he's like, I've worn my long legs. Yeah. And then he like bends down, and it's like a jump scare or something. Yeah, it's like really weird.
And it has like that weird, like, it's like a weird high pitch that he chooses. There's another scene where he's like, he talks to some person, and it's just like doing some weird voice. There's
that one scene where he goes into the convenience store or something. He's got his hands like this, and he's doing this stupid...
Like,
yeah, he's all like, coo. And there's something, the person behind the counters is like, what the hell is your problem?
And I want to say that's spoilers, but it's not, because it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just some
like
random scene.
It's just like, probably just to show that he's like a weird, crazy man.
Yeah, but that part's funny, though, because the girl behind the counter is like, Dad, that weird dude's back again. But, yeah, so Nick Cage, of course, that's probably going to be a performance people are coming to see.
Yeah.
We are getting insane Nick Cage here.
Yeah.
So, if you like Crazy Cage, then you're in for a treat.
Which is it crazy? Has there been a lot of Crazy Cage movies lately? They've been pretty much like tame.
Like I said, it's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
You do have some films where it goes between the two, like Color Out of Space.
Oh yeah.
Color Out of Space, he starts out as Arcadian Nick Cage, and he ends up becoming Longlegs Nick Cage by the end of the movie. So it's sometimes he'll start as one and become the other.
Actually, I think that one movie where it's like the massive talent or Nicolas Cage or whatever, he does that too. He like goes into like.
Well, he's a little bit of both in that. Yeah. That's a great movie too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my point being here is that I could theoretically see it going either way for people.
Yeah.
Maybe they're either going to find this incredibly scary or unnerving, or they're going to find it hilarious.
Yeah.
And it is borderline throughout the whole film.
Yeah, if you like movies, another thing that this movie definitely does, it's if you really like movies with visual flair, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has a very specific visual flair. It's very artistic. So
yeah, it's very very artistic style.
Uses a lot of lighting. There's a lot of wide angle shots.
Yeah.
Like there's one specific scene where she's like in like the police station or whatever, but it has like a wide angle shot of her like talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But the one door has like red lights coming in the one side, and then the hallway has like this like golden light coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
They use a lot of golden I'm assuming it means symbolic for something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
this is a neon film.
Yeah, so neon film.
They love their lights.
C2 motion pictures. It's not like A24.
No, it's
like,
C2.
That's how you know it's artistic. It has to have two
it has to have a letter and a number.
A letter and number in it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they have a lot of those type of scenes, or for like certain scenes will have like just specific lighting, and it's or like different way they have it like what do they call it? Framed.
Mm-hmm.
It's specific ways. And
there's like, one shot in particular I remember where the camera actually rotates all the way around.
Yeah.
And for some reason she's like walking on the ceiling.
Yeah.
The camera's for like no real reason.
Which actually that happens.
Probably symbolic at some point.
Yeah, that happens actually with the credits. It's like a weird credit.
Oh yeah, the credits are backwards.
Yeah, they go upside down. It's like
I don't know if it's trying to do that because of like some kind of satanic thing or something.
Probably.
Like the old belief that if you played like a record backwards or something, it'd have a satanic
It probably
message.
Is.
It's probably what they're doing. There's a bit of a cipher thing going on towards the beginning of the movie. Like you can see on the poster, there's like this sort of weird lettering going on at the top up here. And it's like that's like a plot point at the beginning, and then it kind of just fizzles out.
Yeah.
Back to the acting again, I guess. Maika Monroe, we can talk about Nicolas Cage, but Maika Monroe's character is also weird.
Yeah.
Like, she just comes off as somebody who's incredibly, like, very shy, like, not very sociable person.
Yeah, it kind of, she almost, to me, it felt like she was, like, almost autistic to
Yeah, pretty much. Like, she won't look at anybody while she talks. Every scene she talks, she's, like, looking down at the ground.
Yeah.
Or, like, she just doesn't want to... Yeah, she does come off as kind of autistic. She, like, corrects people when they make an error.
Yeah.
Somebody said the Book of Revelations, and she's like, Revelation, singular. Or something
singular,
like
Revelation.
The person's like, yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But, like, she's kind of crazy, too, but it's different than how Cage is done. But very different.
She is she does a pretty decent job acting though in this movie. Though. It kind of fits what's going on.
Oh yeah, I mean it makes sense. You'll find out why she's the way she is.
Yeah,
there is a reason. But yeah, she also gives a really good performance, and beyond that, and then some other characters are also not quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
But then there are characters that act like regular people too, to show that these guys are just an outlier in this universe. We're not living in some hyper reality where everybody's wild. It's there are normal characters as well. But yeah, the camera angles in this are highly stylized.
Yeah.
There are some like weird jump scares with like a Blumhouse style sting.
Oh yeah.
Whenever they do a jump scare and it's like like loud noises or whatever. It's
is that from Blumhouse?
I was surprised. I don't know if they started that, but they certainly popularized it. But I was kind of surprised that was in this, considering this is supposed to be so, artsy or whatever.
Yeah, I guess they got to put it. It's like obligatory. They got to put it in somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like you got to put the jump scare with the orchestra string in it.
Yeah, because it was doing sort of the Conjuring thing or whatever. But yeah, it does do a good blend of horror. I can see both ends. See, a lot of people either love this movie or they hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it by any means. I don't know if it's the best film of 2024. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah. I know what the audience review, like Rotten Tomatoes, if anyone even cares what the Rotten Tomatoes scores are.
Right.
I mean, this one I think has like...
It's in the 80s.
Yeah, with both critic and I think audience scores is pretty good too. Let me just...
Yeah, I don't know what the audience score is. I know critically it was like 80-something. But anyway, yeah, there's been a few decent horror films this year.
Yeah.
The First Omen might be my favorite one still, but that movie pissed me off because of continuity issues, though.
Yeah.
With the first film.
First Omen was good.
I did like it as its own standalone film, though. Although it did borrow heavily from Possession, which is for some reason getting remade by Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. I'll have to remember what we watched for horror. We watched quite a bit of horror movies this year.
Yeah, we did. But yeah.
I know the First Omen was really
First Omen was pretty good. This is good too.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
If this is your favorite horror movie of the year, I totally understand why.
It is very unsettling because Nick Cage's acting is really good and it's very unsettling.
Right. But again, that comes down to whether or not you find it hilarious or unsettling.
Yeah,
it teeters on that line.
Yeah, it could.
It could definitely be turned into a comedy quite easily.
Yeah. Yeah, the audience score was 65%, so it's pretty decent. Like
that's not too bad.
It's one of the only movies that are like the audience score and the critic score is like at least
within 20 points.
Similar, I guess.
Yeah, I figured the audience would be lower than the critic score.
Yeah,
any of these sort of elevated horror, if you want to use that term, is always going to skew more towards the critic score. But
I think we read a couple of the critic score on this, and they were like, "This is the masterpiece." The best movie ever made or something. I was like,
I wouldn't go that far. Best movie of 2024, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, if it just depends if this like vibes with you or not. Like, it just depends. Like, I could definitely see it being too much for people.
Yeah.
And going off into like a ridiculous Looney Tunes territory.
Yeah.
And then other people, I could see it being, like something that they really would find unnerving or like everything from the music to the way the cinematography to the acting, everything is there to just feel off.
Yeah.
Like intentionally. Like it's trying to mess with you.
Yeah.
Mess with the viewer. So like I could see this getting under people's skin or whatever. So.
Yeah. I know one thing I could see that, especially with the way movies are shot now, is this movie is fairly slow. So it just like it's not gravy, it's not Skinamarink slow.
No, it's not Skinamarink slow.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Skinamarink literally is like it takes an hour and a half to get going.
And then really the movie's only an hour and 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
it takes an hour and a half to get going.
It is really slow. Like it gets slow. It's very slow to get to the point where you're kind of like, okay,
this actually is not a long movie either. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes.
It kind of feels like...
But it feels longer. Yeah, I know
it feels a little bit longer, yeah.
But it's not necessarily a strike against it. But it could be a strike against it for certain people.
Yeah, because I think... If you're looking at maybe general audiences, I guess a lot of general audience people kind of turned off with that. Because the way a lot of... At least noticing recently, the general trend is very quick cuts. Like, go, do this, do that.
All right.
But I don't know. This movie is, like, very, like... slower.
Well, films like Neon and A24 tend not to do that.
Yeah.
So they're almost like the counter. It's almost a counter
the
culture.
TikTok generation. Or
yeah, it's almost like a counter TikTok generation.
The Quibi generation.
The Quibi generation. The Quibi generation was very. They were cut off before their prime.
Yeah, exactly.
They were gone too soon.
Yes, we need that. We need Quibi back. They would be like the ultimate streaming service. Quibi, 10-minute episodes.
It seems like it would be the ultimate streaming service. It's entirely based around the shorts content.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it didn't work for some reason.
Yeah.
Although Tubi is where it's at.
Yeah, Tubi's where it's at.
Although Tubi's like the exact opposite of Quibi.
Yes. They actually have movies on there.
Yeah. So, and commercials.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Except for you. You don't get commercials.
Yeah, I don't get commercials.
For some reason. You have ad-free Tubi.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so anyway, that's all I have to say about Longlegs.
Pretty much. Without going into major spoilers, it's decent.
I recommend it. Definitely recommend it. If you like Nick Cage, even more so. Just another point, too. He's totally unrecognizable in this film.
Yeah.
He's got Colin Farrell Penguin level of prosthetic makeup going on. Like, I wouldn't know it was him until he opened his mouth, and then I heard the voice, and I was like, wait, that's Nick Cage doing
a voice and mannerism.
A weird, high-pitched voice, but it still sounds like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that is also something that's kind of impressive that I just wanted to point out.
Yeah.
So, if you saw Longlegs, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and consider liking this video and subscribing for more like this in the future, and you too could feel the strength welling within. See ya.
See ya.